Right, breaking news coming in. Former Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi has now echoed Dushyant Dave on Mallya controversy. He said he had also advised Mallya's passport to be impounded. Listen into this exclusive interview on India Today.
So what do you think about Mallya's flee away from India? Who is responsible for that?
See, it's very difficult to say today who is responsible. You cannot pinpoint out some individual. Mallya had a lot of cases going on, whether it's income tax, whether it's SBI, etc. I also appeared as Attorney General for SBI in the Supreme Court. But obviously he was in no mood to pay. He was trying to say that I'm offering something, but there was no real offer at all. He was just trying to buy time. And maybe one day when he realized कि यहाँ कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, he suddenly went away. तो उस टाइम अगर उस टाइम पर कोई LOC का या पासपोर्ट डिपॉजिट का ऑर्डर लिया जाता तो शायद आज की सिचुएशन ना आती. तो ये किसी इंडिविजुअल को ब्लेम करना प्रॉपर नहीं है. किस महकमे में किस तरह हुआ, देखिए एज ए लॉयर हमें एग्जैक्टली मालूम नहीं कि बैंक के अफसरों ने क्या किया क्या नहीं किया, बट अगर एक्स्ट्रा अग्रेसिव स्टैंड लिया जाता उस टाइम तो शायद ये रुक.
Let me go across to my colleague Sanjay Sharma, who in fact got us that exclusive interview with Mukul Rohatgi. Sanjay, what Mr. Rohatgi is saying is going to be embarrassing not only for the SBI but for the Modi government as well. He was the top law officer of the government. The questions will be raised. Why didn't the SBI act on his advice? And why didn't the government in fact do anything when they knew that their top law officer also has in fact advised the SBI to impound the passport?
Yes, after Dushyant Dave, Mukul Rohatgi is saying that time the banks and government's speed was little bit late. Government was late, but now we can say it was too late because 3-4 days before the bank and government could do anything, Mallya flew away from India and it was too late. Now Mukul Rohatgi is saying that former Attorney General that only one option is with the government, that extradition. Only extradition can do anything. Nothing can do now. Now it's too late to catch him.
Absolutely. Well, the evidence is there. In fact, we have been joined now by Sardar R.P. Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Sardar R.P. Singh, thank you so much for speaking to us on India Today. What I want to understand from you, sir, that while the BJP is trying to shift the focus on who gave Mallya's loan, and that is a legitimate question that the government possibly should also investigate, but now Mukul Rohatgi, the former top law officer of the appointed by, in fact, the Modi government, his claims are going to be embarrassing for the BJP. It seems that there was a concerted effort not only from the SBI but from higher-ups within the government as well to facilitate Mallya.
Well, I mean, that's your take on that. As for you saying that someone in higher-up was trying to help Mallya, but let's be clear and understand the dateline. The dateline is that way back in October 2015, Mallya was abroad and he was supposed to come to India. While he was coming to India, there was a message from the immigration office to the CBI asking them, do we need to arrest him or what is the issue like? If I rightly remember, on 24th October, CBI in a routine course said, no, we don't need to arrest him, let him come to India, he'll follow the investigation. Thereafter, he was part of investigation 3 times. He was called to CBI office 3 times and he went abroad 4 times before he fled from India. So it was a routine affair for the CBI and a call by the administration and the CBI or by SBI for that regard. But I mean, blaming it to the government or higher up in the system is wrong as per me. And then because
Sardar R.P. Singh, do you want people to really believe it was a routine investigation, a routine affair for the CBI to water down a lookout notice from detention to in fact intimation for the Immigration Bureau without in fact any instruction from somebody to in fact call up people and ask? The lookout notice means that this person has to be detained. In which other case, please tell me, that the Immigration Bureau calls up the agency and asks them, should we detain the person?
There are 2 sort of lookout notice. One is that person need to be detained and other is that his going out and coming in need to be informed to the concerned authorities. In this case, CBI took a call that since he was participating, he was coming for investigation, joining investigation, and he was going out and in regularly. He was going out of country, and even after that, when the lookout notice was, as per you, altered to notice of that he can go and just for informing, he came to India. He went out of India 4 times and came back to India 4 times, and then he participated in the investigation 3 times. So it was a call taken by CBI that time. And why? How can you put blame to anyone, any individual? Or
well, I'll tell you why I'm putting the blame on the BJP. And before I do that, let me also get in Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Congress party, who is joining us on the broadcast. The BJP seems to be suggesting, Priyanka, that nothing is amiss. It was all procedural what happened. But the curious case now is that despite the top law officer of the government itself advising the SBI and going to the court and telling them to impound Mallya's passport in January, nobody moved. A 5-day window was given to Mallya, and the result is he meets the finance minister and flees from the country.
So firstly, I'm not surprised that they don't find nothing amiss, because the agenda is very clear. The Bharatiya Janata Party's agenda is the canned food after defrauding banks of the amount of loans that they take, firstly. Secondly, the questions are very obvious. Today, the former Attorney General has also come forward to say that he had asked for the passport to be impounded. Nothing was done about it. Secondly, his lookout notice gets diluted. Thirdly, a person who is under investigation tells the finance minister of this country that he is going to London, and nothing is done about it. So the questions need to be asked of this government, that when their lookout notice was there, why did you all dilute it? Secondly, how could the finance minister knowingly allow him to get away with this investigation? Thirdly, even the UK High Court has gone on to say that the CBI is deliberately putting up a weak defense so that he can get away without an extradition. So these clearly point to a conspiracy and an entire agenda to allow Vijay Mallya to get away with all the rules of law that pertain in our nation. And that is the unfortunate reality of the country today and of the Bharatiya Janata Party, which they refuse to be held accountable for. And it's high time the people held them accountable for this.
Mr. Singh, now how does the government explain? Because you've been saying that there were senior officials, including the finance minister, former prime minister's office, those who influenced these banks to give Mallya a loan. How does the government explain that the SBI, despite having so much, the biggest lender to Vijay Mallya, despite getting an advice from Dushyant Dave, from Mukul Rohatgi, the Attorney General at that point of time, of impounding Vijay Mallya's passport, the SBI did not move. They gave him the 5-day window.
Well, first let me answer what Ma'am Priyanka Chaturvedi said, that he told the FM board that he's going to London. I mean, they believe in the version of fugitive and not in the version of foreign minister. I mean, that's shocking. Because they know better than anyone else, because as per me, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, when he was in London, he probably met Mr. Mallya or was speaking to him. And that's why in London he said that jails are not good for Mallya to come back here. But coming back on that issue of SBI, we know that there was some collusion of bank system, whether it was PNB with or SBI or other bankers with such fugitives, and then that need to be quiet. Who the SBI was trying to help Mr. Vijay Mallya? That had to be quiet. But you can't put blame on the government for that. And I'm telling you categorically that Vijay Mallya was participating in all his investigation, and he was here in that period. And that was a call taken by CBI and for that SBI. Now that no government involvement, you can accuse government involvement to that.
Sir, the fact remains that this, as of now, seems to be a political football between the Congress and the BJP. But in the election year, when the government claims that we have been doing so much to get these people back, all these economic offenders, there has been a series of these people, those who have left, and now the circumstances of Vijay Mallya is unraveling, and we yet see this as an embarrassment for the Modi government. Your claims of doing enough against economic offenders that right now are falling apart.
Well, once he is back here, then probably he'll unveil who helped him, and there are letters on record already, but he'll further unveil that who helped him to get all that loan, and how Mr. Rahul Gandhi was calling up people, telling me, "Acha aadmi hai, acha insaan hai, isko chhod do." So there are already stories and documents and evidences against Mr. Rahul Gandhi also helping
सर
Mr.
आरपी
Vijay
सिंह
Mallya.
साहब 4 साल से सरकार में 4.5 साल से सरकार में है यहाँ पे Rahul Gandhi is the one who colluded and gave a sweet deal to Vijay Mallya. Then am I to believe that somebody within the BJP is helping Rahul Gandhi? Why isn't any FIR lodged against Rahul Gandhi? Why is he not behind bars if he was doing something wrong?
Sir, when FIR is being lodged, the case is being prosecuted, Mr. Gandhi is out on bail, and there are other cases also.
He's on other case. We are talking about Mallya because the BJP seems to be suggesting time and again that there was a collusion of former Prime Minister, there was a collusion of former Finance Minister, there was a collusion of the Gandhi family. Am I to believe that the Modi government is so weak that they have not been able to take action against Rahul Gandhi in this case?
Thank you for your lecture. Now hear me out. There's a case which is there already pursued in UP with one of the Shia board person whom Mr. Rahul Gandhi has phoned and called from Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azhar's phone saying help him out, bail him out. And there's a fraud which has happened there. So all these cases take time. It's not that you just pick up a phone call like earlier regime and then persecute people.
Absolutely. Mr. RP Singh, Sardar Saab, I can clearly see how rattled the BJP is because then you will call this thank you for our advice. But the fact remains, these cases take time. You are in the last leg of this government and so far you've not been able to do anything. In the middle of all this, Vijay Mallya has fled. There are others, those who have also fled. Rahul Srivastav also with me. I request your indulgence, sir. Just stay on with me. Rahul, does this argument of the BJP hold? That do we have cases that these things take time, we will take action when the government is in the last 6 months of its tenure?
Ankit, this is the real question. If we look at the documents we have today from the State Bank of India, on 31st January 2014, this document shows very clearly that all the money that Mr. Mallya got as loans was in the Congress time, fine. The BJP has the documents to show that there was some sense of collusion within the government helping Mr. Mallya evergreen. But today you have a report from a note from the RBI ex-chairman, Mr. Raghuram Rajan. It says that the assets of all the CEOs and bankers should be looked into in case where the loans they have been inured, their tenure have been given, have been dubious. Okay. Now let me come down to the point of basic questions here. Who met whom, not an issue. Who toned down the lookout circular?
Yes.
Who tipped Mr. Mallya that the banks are going to move Supreme Court? Who delayed moving the cases to the tribunal? Who delayed the consortium moving the Supreme Court? 5-day period, 28th February, 5th March 2016, Mr. Mallya frees. One point which I'll say, that in February, 28th February, when the banks were delaying the move, Mr. Mallya actually got a bonanza.
Yeah.
He sold off, he quit the chairmanship, got a sweetheart deal worth 515 crore rupees from Diageo, which is a majority owner in USL, which means he left a rich man.
Can we put this to Mr. RP Singh? Because the fact remains, while they keep pointing out that the Congress made it sweet for him, it seems that sweetness persisted in the Modi government as well.
You see,
Sardar
that's
RP Singh, go ahead.
RP Singh should answer. Forget who did what. I'm saying how many cases are on today against officials or others who could have helped Mr. Vijay Mallya. Is there a single probe going on against any of the, barring one chairman of a bank, that these people have allowed their banks to be looted by people, and there is simply nothing being done as far as this is concerned?
Okay.
If some people in CBI helped him, Mr. RP Singh, who is the pan 4 years later? Do you have any answers?
Shall I answer that?
Please, sir, go ahead.
Rahul, you understand that if there's not a watertight case, people get a scot-free. This has happened in this country many times. And all those cases which have been prosecuted by our government are being ensured that the prosecution is watertight and there should be no way out for a person to run away or get a scot-free. So that's the problem. And I'm telling you today, no one will be left free, whether it's Mr. Rahul Gandhi or any banker or anyone else who was involved into this, and even further Mr. Chidambaram. So whoever involved will be taken care, and it's matter of time.
RP Singh, your crime is that you have not made these cases watertight against Rahul Gandhi or against Mr. Mallya and Nirav Modi in the last 4.5 years? Why don't you admit that you failed to make it airtight? You are telling us, do you think that the common man on the street is going to make them airtight?
The case in which Mr. Rahul Gandhi is out on bail is a watertight case, you know that. And
So you were busy making things watertight against Rahul Gandhi, not against Mallya.
Rahul, please. This is the only government which has pursued this matter in the London court, and to this extent that Mr. Mallya is unreacted now, and he's speaking now, and he knows that this matter of time. I mean, after December what? I mean, he has to come back to India at all cost.
All right, Sardar R.P. Singh, thank you so much for joining us at this point of time. But Rahul, one thing is clear for the BJP, this is a very difficult answering season as far as this goes. And, going into the election year, this is going to get much more shriller, much more difficult for the party to defend this.
Ankit, the narrative which the Congress is trying to build and which is actually getting constructed is that somewhere the BJP failed to deliver on the promise of curbing corruption. Second, if Rahul Gandhi says that there is argument that the BJP is robbing the poor and putting it in the hands of certain consortiums or the corporates and the rich in the country, this is yet another addition. The BJP needs to come out clean, at least show a semblance of action against those who could have helped Mr. Mallya. December is too late.
Okay.
Mr. Mallya may become a trophy in December if he is brought back to India.
Yes.
But the fact is, by that time, a negative narrative may be playing out in the country.
Well, December, possibly the government would have an opportunity to turn around this narrative, but this would be, remember, either in middle of the counting or elections of the 4 states and just before the 2019 elections. Can the government afford this sort of a time? We'll have to wait and see politically the damage that Vijay Mallya now causes to the BJP.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.